Hello everybody, and thank you guys for tuning in this video. My name is Cole Martins, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. And what a better way to start off the week of Thanksgiving than crowning a champion. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and the race at Homestead Miami Speedway, where we crowned a NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion at the Ford EcoBoost 400. And our championship for coming this won the Ford that transferred from the final race at Phoenix in the round of 8. Our remaining 4 drivers are Jimmie Johnson, who's looking for his 7th championship of his career, Kyle Busch, who's looking for back-to-back championships and his 2nd championship of his career, and then Carl Edwards and Joey Logano, who are looking for their first ever championships. As all these drivers, the way they win the championship here at Homestead in this final race of the year, if you do not know, is that you pretty much have to just have finished best out of those 4 drivers. Whoever finishes the best takes home the championship. So it brings into a lot of drama in this race, a lot of excitement, and this one brought home a lot of excitement. This one, especially near the end of the race, as some cautions played some big factors in this one, as there's a total of 6 cautions in this race, and about 4 or 5 drivers were able to lead in this one. We'll go on and talk about the race right now as we talk about the green flag at the start of the race. Kevin Harvick would lead the field to the green, as he would have a pretty dominant car at the beginning of this race. But on lap 33, Carl Edwards would put some pressure on him as he would try to get below him and take the lead. And he was able to do that for just a little bit, but then Kevin Harvick would fight back and take that lead away from Edwards and hold on to it for a little bit longer. Then we had to lap 80, where Joey Logano, another one of the chase contenders in that championship war, would find his way past Kevin Harvick and take on the restart and take the lead for himself. But he would not hold on for too long, as Carl Edwards was able to go around Harvick as well, and this time pull away from him, be able to catch Joey Logano and take the lead from him and put himself in the pole spot for that championship. Then we'll head to lap 118, where Carl Larson, who had a very, very strong car after lap 100, found his way through the pack, was able to catch Carl Edwards himself and take the lead. He had a win earlier this year at Michigan International Speedway, so trying to pick up his 2nd career victory. Then we head to lap 56, where on the restart, a big thing happened in this race. This is probably one of the key things that happened, especially for this championship race. We had Kyle Larson in the lead, Carl Edwards in 2nd place, and Joey Logano was behind Carl Edwards. Joey Logano got a very, very good restart. Once again, tried to get below Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards trying to protect his lead in the championship. Tried to go down and block. Ended up making contact with Joey Logano while coming down, forcing him to lose control and go into the inside wall, collecting Joey Logano with him as well, getting him a little bit of damage, and collecting quite a few other drivers as well, as drivers that were involved in this crash were Brad Keselowski, Casey Kane, Martin Truex Jr., Brian Newman, and Truex car actually kept on fire in this race. That's how bad the crash was, that everybody got piled up on top of the turn 1 wall. And this actually brought out the red flag, so it gave these drivers a little bit of chance to talk over their crews. And Edwards, being the classy guy that he is, he actually after the crash, he walked over to Joey Logano's pit box, apologized to the team, and said that was my fault. I was trying to protect my lead. Everybody understands that's a very classy move by Carl Edwards. Joey Logano didn't get too much damage, but just enough where he had to come in and try to fix it. So we'll see if he can maybe try to make his way back up in the pack. But right now, pretty much the main 2 that are going for this championship will be Jimmie Johnson and Kyle Busch. Or Kyle Busch was right now being the lead after when the red flag was waved and went back to yellow flag, as Kyle Busch would be in 3rd place and Jimmie Johnson in 4th place. So they'll be starting side by side in the 2nd row with about 10 laps left to go in this race. But the other thing for Jimmie Johnson was he was behind the leader, who decided to start up high, and what most leaders have been all day for Carl Larson. So that green flag got out once again with Johnson, who got a good restart and ended up following Carl Larson. But only a lap later, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would end up wiping out and bringing out the caution flag. So that meant that we would go to a green-white checker. Jimmie Johnson would be starting in 2nd. And surprisingly enough, Kyle Busch decided to come in on this green-white checker and get some tires to see if he could make his way up to the field. He probably didn't think he had a good enough car to try to keep up with Jimmie Johnson. So by doing this, he was hoping maybe, just maybe, something will happen to the point where he can get a couple positions. Maybe a caution will come out and he can try to get some more positions on another green-white checkered. And then once this one green flag came out, Jimmie Johnson got another great restart, was able to just nudge himself ahead of Kyle Larson on the inside and take the lead. And after that, Jimmie Johnson was sailing from there. And Jimmie Johnson came across the line for the checkered flag and would pick up his first ever career win at Homestead Miami Speedway, his 5th career win on the season. But the biggest thing of all, He is now considered one of the greatest champions in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, as he picked up his 7th championship, tying the all-time high set by the legends Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. So congratulations to you, Jimmie Johnson, on winning that 7th championship and picking and the first one in this kind of format too, with the elimination round. First time he's ever made to the finals in this elimination format. So once again, congratulations, Jimmie Johnson, picking up his 7th career NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship, and next year going for the try to take over and be the only driver to have 8 total Sprint Cup Series championships. And the results here for the Ford EcoBoost 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. In first place was Jimmie Johnson, who was your champion. Second place, Kyle Larson. Third place, Kevin Harvick. Fourth place, Joey Logano. So even with the damage, he did a good job making his way up there and finishing second in the points with a nice 4th place finish after having so much go against him. Fifth place was Jamie McMurray. Sixth place, Kyle Busch. So the tires did work out for him, made him get through a little bit of the pack. And I think there was probably about 16 cars in the lead lap when that caution came out. But he'll finish third in the points. 7th place, Matt Kenseth. 8th place, AJ Allmendinger, for a great finish for him. So good job for him and Richard Petty racing in this race. 9th place was Denny Hamlin. And 10th place, probably another surprise driver in that top 10, McDowell, who usually we don't see out there at all, usually in the 20th position or lower. So good job for McDowell having a great finish in this one. And the last chase driver that I didn't mention is, of course, Carl Edwards, who finished 34th. He'd end up finishing 4th in the point standings. Now we're just going to go over all the chase drivers in the point standings, where they ended up finishing. As once you got eliminated, you pretty much race for the position with all the other drivers. And the finish top 4 will be locked, like where they finish this race. So first place, Jimmie Johnson. Second place, Joey Logano. Third place, Kyle Busch. Fourth place, Carl Edwards. Fifth place, Matt Kenseth. Sixth place, Denny Hamlin. Seventh place, Kyle Busch. 8th place, Kevin Harvick. 9th place, Kyle Larson. 10th place, Chase Elliott. 11th place, Martin Truex Jr. 12th place, Brad Keselowski. 13th, Jamie McMurray. 14th, Austin Dillon. 15th, Tony Stewart. And 16th, Chris Buescher. Those guys will all be at the banquet here in December. I believe that is about mid-December they'll have that banquet. I think that will be airing on Fox Sports 1, so keep an eye on that one. But that is it for this race. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the next race, and next year we have to go to, as the next race will be the Unlimited race. Again, we do not know the sponsor, what the name of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is going to be, because Sprint Cup is supposed to be leaving next year. Have not found a sponsor yet, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that one, if they're going to re-sign with them or grab a new one. So that's why it's just called the Unlimited race. And last year's winner of this one, I'll go into the race is first, as this race will be on Saturday, February 18, 2017. This race will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find it on Fox Sports 1. Last year's winner of this race was Denny Hamlin, who picked up his 3rd ever victory here in the Eliminated race. Other drivers who picked up victories in the Eliminated: Kevin Harvick, who has 3 wins in the Eliminated race. His last win was in 2013. Dale Jr., who has 2 wins in the Eliminated race. His last win was in 2008. Matt Kenseth has a win in the Eliminated in 2015. Kyle Busch has a win in the Unlimited in 2000, and I believe that was 12. And Kyle Busch also with the win in the Unlimited in 2011. But if you're looking for the next points race, the race that really matters, we'll be talking about the Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, which both these races are at Daytona International Speedway, by the way. As you can find that race on February, that would be February, if I can read my writing, 26, 2017. That race will be at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can find that race on Fox. Last year's winner of this one, he won the Limited race and this race, that would be Denny Hamlin, who, if you don't remember, just barely won by the fender of his car over Martin Truex Jr. in a very great race last year. So Denny Hamlin going to try to repeat as a Daytona 500 champion. Other drivers who won this race: Matt Kenseth is a 2-time winner of this race. Jimmie Johnson, 2-time winner of this race. Dale Jr., a 2-time winner of this race. Then we have Joey Logano, who won in 2015. Trevor Bayne, who won in 2011. That's a very surprise victory. Should see if he can make another one next year. Jamie McMurray, who won this race in 2010. Ryan Newman, who won in 2008. And Kevin Harvick, who won in 2007. So something we got to look forward to in February. We have the Super Bowl, we got the NASCAR picking back up. So that's the next time we'll hear any kind of NASCAR racing. I'll probably try to get a video out before the season starts of where drivers are going to be going next year, changing teams and other things. Some side notes that came out after the race: Dale Jr. says he's more than likely going to be racing the Daytona 500, so hopefully he is good to go by that one. He's been resting all year, sitting out all year to get ready for next year, and hopefully it's nothing that can risk his life. That's one thing I'm scared about, him getting back in the car again. So hopefully he gets a 100% go from the doctors if he does do this again, and hopefully the doctors are talking to him, telling the scenarios of what's going to go on. But it'll be exciting to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. back on the track driving the 88 car once again. And the other news that I got is that Greg Biffle will be leaving Roush Fenway Racing next year and leaving the 16 car. So it'll be interesting to see what team he'll end up going to next year. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more changes as this offseason goes on here in December and January. So that is it here for me in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, and for this year as well about the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Again, keep an eye out early February, I would say. I'll have some more pre-season show for the NASCAR to talk about what's going on, what changes have happened, and what to expect that year. But that is it for this video. If you guys want to comment below, what are your guys' thoughts about this NASCAR Sprint Cup Series? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? Did you like the chase this year? I just want to hear your thoughts about the entire NASCAR season, and maybe your thoughts on Jimmie Johnson becoming a 7-time champion, and the thoughts of him possibly becoming an 8-time champion next year or in the future years. Love to hear what you guys got to say. If you guys want to talk to me on Twitter, you can do that at ColeMartins57. I like talking anything sports, so if you guys just want to add me in a tweet, I'd love to talk to you guys about that stuff. I'll be tweeting the NFL games this week and other basketball and football and hockey games, so just get a hold of me on those ones. You can also, if you could please like this video, if you could hit the like button, and if you want to see some more of my future NASCAR videos or the videos from the past this year or other videos that I post, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate both those. And thank you guys for tuning this video. Again, if you want, you can tune in my other videos till February, but if you want to stick with the NASCAR ones, I'll see you guys in early February. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and you guys all have a great day.